What's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Great League video. Today I'm going to be showcasing TREVENANT in the Open Great League, which I'm a massive fan of this season. I think this Pokemon is going way under the radar. This Pokemon looks to be core breaking a ton of teams in the Great League currently. We've got so many Medichams, so many Lanturns, and even with all of the current flyers in the meta, they can all take neutral damage from grass, and of course Shadow Ball does a lot of damage to any Pelipper, Mantine, or Gligar that you might see. So this Pokemon's looking very strong at the moment, has a lot of neutral play, and of course, like I said, it breaks up like Defense Deoxys teams, breaks up Lanturn teams, and generally speaking, this Pokemon's just amazing. So in this first matchup right here, I shielded up the Thunderbolt because I realized the opponent must be at least double weak to it. They come into Lickitung and then come into Medicham, so I go straight into Registeel just to try and draw out whatever's in the back that's trying to hide from TREVENANT, and we do draw out a Medicham. Now of course, with a good IV Registeel, I'm with the Psychic nerf, unless they're running Dynamic Punch of course, but we can win the Zero Shield scenario here. Boom, Psychic coming through. And we'll get off this next move before they get to the next Psychic. Now the opponent's going to go for an Ice Punch. That will not cut it here in this situation. If you're going to go for this, you just go for the farm down. One Psychic and one Ice Punch will not cut it. But guys, welcome to the video. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below. Today's question is, was the TREVENANT nerf warranted last season? I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was super funny. Like, we had all of these problems with Medicham, Noctowl, Lanturn, and of all things they go after TREVENANT. I thought it was a bit of a weird nerf. Bit of an untimely nerf, I think, because Medicham has been stronger than ever in recent seasons, and of course Lanturn's just been everywhere. So in my personal opinion, the TREVENANT nerf was completely unnecessary. I think they could have left this Pokemon the way it was, and we still had Noctowl in the meta to, of course, take care of it. And I think even in this current meta, and actually especially in this current meta, we have things like Carbink, and you guys are going to see Carbink teams, and they're super annoying for me to deal with. Even though I've technically got free Pokemon that can beat Carbink, such an annoying team I'm running into with this Pokemon. You guys might have seen it. It's like Carbink lead, Power Punch Midi on the swap, with basically a grass type in the back. I've seen it with Serperior, Venusaur. I think you would have seen it with TREVENANT before as well. Super annoying team, and hopping into this battle here, it looks like the opponent was running Sandslash and Medicham on the swap. If you guys want to guess what's in the back, I would guess Azumarill. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, TREVENANT looks like he's in a good spot here. Anytime I see Sandslash lead with Medicham swap, I automatically assume Azu. So we're looking to be in a good spot here. Lanturn can definitely take care of Sandslash, and we can definitely get a shield off the opponent as you can see here, and we've debuffed them. So at this point guys, we can come in with TREVENANT. The opponent got an absolute ton of farm, which is kind of awkward, so they can probably get to 2 Ice Punches here, but they are debuffed, and these Ice Punches are not going to do anywhere near as much. So we'll see what the opponent wants to do here. They go for Ice Punch number 1. Can I farm them down? Unfortunately, they do get to Ice Punch number 2. I'm going to eat this. It'll only just about get us into the yellow, and at that point we should be in a very good position. Back in comes Sandslash. What I'm going to do is YOLO off the Shadow Ball. I'm hard reading that it's Azu in the back, so I'm going to get off the Shadow Ball, boom, come into Lanturn, they come into Azu, and the opponent should be top lefting here. Good games, well played. Sometimes when you see that team, you just automatically know it's Azu in the back. Sandslash lead, Medicham swap, Azu, very common line. TREVENANT versus Buzzwole, not a very common Pokemon. It can actually, I think this is a win for TREVENANT. You are supposed to bait twice, so if the opponent knows this matchup, they should let this move go. I'll let the lunge go. I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Ball and basically play out the Zero Shield scenario here, and then look to swap out. Yeah, they just let go. I come in with Lanturn to get a spark through, and the opponent comes into their own Lanturn. So it's making me think, if you're coming into your own Lanturn, you must be quite weak to this in the back. So we're going to go for Thunderbolt, and I think we're going to look to try and preserve this. The opponent goes for a shield, which is very telling here. Now I have to make a call. Are they going to go for the bait or the bolt? They go for the bolt, and luckily enough for me here, and then we're going to go for another one. I'm not sure if they're going to shield up the second one, but I'm thinking like the opponent's win condition here is probably to bait at this point. So what I'm going to do here is eat this move no matter what it is. This will come very close to KOing. It won't quite KO. And I'm going to swap straight out into TREVENANT here. Try to draw out whatever's in the back. The opponent will go for, I think, a Surf here at the last second, but this is perfectly fine by me. We'll see what they want to do. We still have a shield here in this situation, so it is starting to get a little bit tricky. I'm coming in with Lanturn. They go for a catch and Frostlass. So this is still quite tricky actually. Boom, that does a lot of damage, but we're going to have to throw a move with Registeel anyway. So I'm thinking here, okay, a Shadow Ball from Frostlass is probably the hardest hitting move left in the game. We might as well shield up this move here, and we should be in a very good spot here. I go for an Overfarm, just to make sure I can get to the move before Lanturn, even though like it won't make a difference. I could come out of here with no energy and be perfectly fine. We'll get off this Focus Blast, and that's basically game over for the opponent. By the way guys, thank you for all the well wishes in the last couple of videos. I got all my dentist work sorted out. I have to go back, next week or something to continue to get my wisdom tooth sorted out. But the tooth next to my wisdom tooth is completely fixed, and that was what was causing a lot of the pain. So yeah, thank you for all the kind words, very much appreciated. So TREVENANT versus Charizard here. Very interesting match. Not going to be very good for any of my team except for Lanturn. I come into Reggie here. I want to shield up here because I think if I can debuff them, I can possibly live this blast burn. They come into their own Trevenant, so the opponent's got 2 very good answers to Reggie here. I'm in a very tough position because we're going to have to come in and farm this down with our own Trevenant, and we need to get attack drops on this thing. And the opponent's going to go for Shadow Ball, and this is where Reggie is just super strong. Boom, Shadow Ball coming through. We're going to get off the next Zap Cannon here. I'm going for a bit of an overfarm as well. I don't think it makes a difference, I'm not going to lock on down. But yeah, we get a shield off the opponent, which is pretty vital here. Does the opponent throw a move? They actually let us get to another Zap Cannon. A little bit too greedy by the opponent, and now they're going to be forced to double shield. We're going to come in with our own Trevenant, not allow them to farm us down. And I'm going to shield once here, and hopefully try to farm down, because they farmed up to 100 energy. They actually come back in with Charizard. They CMP tie us on the Dragon Claw. This is not going to be enough, and the Shadow Ball, of course, will definitely take out the Charizard. The Dragon Claw done so much damage, done a lot more than I thought it was going to do, to be honest with you. Boom, Shadow Ball's going to one-shot, and we're looking in a much better position now. The opponent's forced to throw in Trevenant, so they may be quite weak to us in the back. So what I'm going to do is come in with Lantern here and get a Spark down, which is going to be absolutely nasty. And I think at this point, the opponent might have been quite weak to Lantern in the back. Good games well played. Yeah, so overall this team went very, very well for me. I think I had a 4-1, a couple of positive sets with it. I did have a couple of bad sets. The bad sets were definitely that Carbink team. Super annoying team. I hate that Pokemon. I was showcasing it a lot last season because it's a new Pokemon, but it is just terrible, to be honest with you. Now, in this matchup here, what I like to do is shield once and CMP on the second Ice Punch. You don't necessarily have to shield up the Ice Punch, but I do like to preserve some health in Trevenant. This is essentially an ABB style team. Yep, so we've got a ton of energy in Trevenant, and we come into Registeel. I'm going to go for the Zap Cannon on CMP. What I decide to do here is actually go for a shield, and then get off the Zap Cannon, which will hopefully get the debuff. I don't know, I feel like I should be saving my shield for something else, to be honest with you, but we do get the shield back off the opponent. We still don't get a debuff. I got so few debuffs with this Reggie here. Pretty unlucky. A Drill Run coming through. We do get to another Focus Blast. So at the very least, like, you know, the opponent's going to take Swap, but we're going to take both shields. And at this point, our Trevenant has got a Shadow Ball loaded. I wanted to come in and go for the Snipe. Unfortunately, the opponent does get off the move here. Now, I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. I was thinking they would catch it on Mandibuzz. I was just hoping that they wouldn't, basically. But yeah, we get the Shadow Ball through like KOs, and back in comes Mandibuzz. So very, very negative lead. But it looks like we're able to swap this around. As you guys seen in the last couple of games, we've had very bad leads, but we're able to turn it around with this team. So this team is actually quite strong. Trevenant, Lantern, and Reggie. Definitely a huge fan of this team. Very, very positively, this game, Cresselia. They come into Digger's Beam. I don't really have an answer to Digger's Beam, which is a little bit tricky. All 3 of my Pokemon can hit it for super effective. But yeah, I don't really have a strong answer to it. And I'm thinking like Registeel can beat Cresselia, so I'm probably fine just to stay in here. This is a terrible shield here. I shielded up just in case it was a Fire Punch. Definitely not a good shield. Boom, that's coming through. The opponent shields back. I'm just going to let this next move go. I'm just absolutely making sure I take switch advantage basically here. So yeah, Scorching Sand's coming through. That does pitiful damage. Like, I would have been getting quite low if I had ate another one. We'll see what the opponent decides to do here. Yeah, they let it go. So we're in 1-to-1 shields. I'm going to probably just swap straight out to Reggie, knowing that both of these Pokemon beat Cresselia. In comes Sandslash. Once again, I'm going to shield up the first move. Registeel is very good against Cresselia. All of the moves are resisted, so we'll shield up the Drill Run, try to apply a debuff, and then hopefully look to sweep with Reggie and Trevenant. Hopefully we can get this debuff this time, because that'll help an absolute ton in this matchup. And we don't. I think for the last like 5 Zap Cannons I haven't had a debuff. No, actually I got one a couple of games ago. This video is edited though. I've edited out some of the losses and wins and stuff like that were a bit boring. But like generally speaking, I was just getting no debuffs, which was kind of annoying. Back in comes this thing. So yeah, we get the attack drop on the Cresselia, which is not really what I need, to be fair. The opponent will not be able to take us out here, and one Zap Cannon will not quite KO this thing. Boom, Grass Knot coming through. Almost takes us out. What I want to do is get this into farm down range for Trevenant, look to farm it down and look to YOLO off a Shadow Ball on the Sandslash. The opponent does not reach a move, and they're going to be forced to dump energy here. We're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. I was thinking about going for the Seed Bomb. I was a little bit off track in energy, but I just realized like Sparks plus Surf was going to KO no matter what, and we live one move no matter what on Lantern, so I might as well just go for the big move, force them to throw energy, and that was our 4-1 set. Very interesting lead here, Haxorus. The opponent's staying in for a minute, so I'm thinking, oh, they've got Night Slash, haven't they? They've got bloody Night Slash, don't they? There it is, boom. They don't get the boost, which is quite nice. I'm going to farm up an extra 4 just before they get to the move and go for my next Seed Bomb here. I think what I may be tempted to do is swap out here, because I don't necessarily want to double shield. I'm going to call a Breaking Swipe here. This is a huge call. That was a huge call, bro. In comes Walrein. This is an unnecessary throw here because I've got Lantern. They shielded up anyway, so that works perfectly fine. The way I was thinking is I'll go for a Seed Bomb and then go for the farm down. Is this enough for the thing? Yeah, it's enough for the Earthquake. Yeah, so we're going to look to basically spark it down. Can we get the entire spark down? The opponent was just getting to the move, and even though this is resisted, this should KO at this range. Boom, that takes them out. And we just have a ton of energy for this Deoxys. The opponent's in a rough spot. They've got a Deoxys, which doesn't do particularly well against Lantern. It does fine, and they have a low health Haxorus. I am expecting the catch. The opponent doesn't go for it here. Even if I got rid of the Haxorus, I'm perfectly fine in this situation. We come into Reggie, or we come into this thing, come into the Tree Meister and just eat the Psyche B, just for the boys. We're doing it for the boys here. In comes Haxorus. Do they get off a move? They don't get off a move. I think they could have, but of course they're trying to farm the whole way down or something. We're just going to spark down the Dirty D. Dirty D comes in for his last second Psycho Boost. Will this be enough to win the match? And ladies and gents, sometimes you just have to top left because, you know, you're going to get people like me just being a complete troll, letting you throw Psycho Boosts. They're going to go Psycho Boost after Psycho Boost here, and I'm just going to let them punch me for a little while, just to, you know, let them take their frustration out on me a little bit. But to be honest with you guys, in these next couple of battles, I'm going to be the one who's frustrated. We've got this stupid fucking Stinky Binky. This thing is a pain in the ass, man. Even though this is super effective damage, like, I've played that match out. 2 Rock Slides will KO, or Moonblast plus Rock Froze will KO. It's not a good match for Trevenant, and they always have a Medicham in the back, so whenever I swap out, it's Medicham. Or if I was to swap into my Lantern, it's going to be some sort of grass type. I've seen it with Serperior, Venusaur, Meganium. I just hate this team. It's just like, it's a team that I can just pretty much not beat with this team. It's just so annoying. Like, Medicham and Carbink are just 2 broken Pokemon. The opponent froze energy here, which was a little bit, you know, it's giving me a little bit of hope here, but still, like, this is rough. They actually aggro swap, so like the opponent's really misplaying this match. If they had have just maintained alignment, they would have been getting their grass type in the back on this. Let's see if it makes a difference, because Trevenant typically beats all our grass types, but with Aurelius on Serperior, it's going to be looking tough. We do get this thing super low. I think they'll get to a last second move here. I'm going to try to trust in Trevenant with 2 shields. I think that's my only play, because of course Serperior is going to wreck my Lantern. So there's really just like not a whole lot we can do here, to be fair. I think the Medicham still has energy as well. It was a misplay by the opponent swapping out, but they did store an Ice Punch, which makes things all the more awkward. They do get the complete farm down, which is super annoying as well. So yeah, we're just in a tough position now, guys. What do I want to shield up? Aurelius or Ice Punches? I don't think it makes a difference at this point. I think I do need to get a better Trevenant. My Trevenant seems to be taking a lot of damage from Vine Whips. But anyway, guys, back in comes Medicham, and this is going to be basically game over. Like I said, guys, there's just basically no way you can beat this team with this team. I honestly think it's just the most straight RPS shit ever. It's like, if you stay in with Trevenant, and you lose, you like soft lose to Carbink, Medicham and Serperior will just sweep your back line. That is just the most straight RPS line that you can possibly run into. And I run into that team, after this 4-1, I run into this team like another 4 times. So, you know, we love Go Battle League. We love Go Battle League. The opponent shields up their Steelix, and we're going to come into Reggie. In comes their Metacham, and we're going to go ahead and go for Zap Cannon. If you do get ahead in energy a little bit, this is pretty comfortable to win in the zeros. Yep, they let the first move go. Once again, no debuff here. I think I'm in my phase of, you know, I have to lose these games, so I'm not getting debuffs very often. Dynamic Punch, very interesting move by the opponent. So I think this is the opponent who's on Dynamic Punch and Psychic, which actually I'm a big fan of that moveset, to be honest with you. I'm going to shield this up. I need to take switch advantage if possible here. Get a farm down, try to put that energy to use. I wasn't expecting to see Psychic there, to be fair, like, after seeing the Dynamic Punch. In comes Bastiodon. This is looking very tricky still. Bastiodon's a bit of an issue for me here. Yeah, we get off a last second Shadow Ball. I think this is pretty huge. If we have any chance of winning this match, the Shadow Ball will make a big difference. We'll come into Sparkle Lantern here, and back in comes Steelix. We're going to fire for the move immediately, just to make sure that we get the shield off the opponent immediately as well. Yep, the opponent's not even building up towards the Earthquake. They're so horny for the debuff. So, Breaking Swipe coming through. Well done, opponent, you're winning. You're getting debuffs, you're winning. I throw in bad timing against Steelix's just to get off the damage before the debuff, which I think is the correct play. If I had a win for good timing, I would have got debuffed and this would have been doing nothing. They go for Psychic Fangs as well. Now what I'm going to do here is potentially just get off this move as quickly as possible, and then look to swap out to Trevenant, right? Just to basically clear the debuff. In comes Bastiodon. Now they may get to a move, but that's not going to be enough at this point. And yeah, good games. So we do beat this very annoying team of Bastiodon in the back. It was ABS deal. Generally speaking, Trevenant's going to play against that entire team, so definitely a very good team for Trevenant to see. This is a bit of an awkward one here, because Galvantula can do pretty well against Lantern. I don't know what I should be doing here. To be fair, like, they pace equally to the Seed Bombs, so even if I beat twice, I think they still outpace me here. They let it go. It's an amazing call by the opponent. That was ballsy of them, so I decided I'm going to have to catch a lunge on Reggie. But this is going to be awkward because there probably is a Medicham in the back, and I'm not going to be able to two-shot it now with the debuff. And to make things even worse, they're on Power Punch. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to get off 2 Zap Cannons here. I might actually, no, I'm definitely not, am I? I think with Power Punch, that basically eliminates the chance of getting off 2. Do we get off 2? Can we get it to it? No, we're just really not getting it. We're super close. I've got amazing IVs. We go straight for the Seed Bomb here to try and deny their energy. And we'll see what the opponent decides to do. They do shield it. That Seed Bomb wouldn't have KO'd. So I really was just hoping the opponent would shield. They go straight for the Psychic, which is nice. So I can look to basically, oh, we go for the swap out and in comes Dugong. We go for the Simul swap. Now, as you see, I was reaching straight for the Thunderbolt, but I do realize, like, I probably need to go for bait here. Opponents have been very good at calling baits recently, so I'm just hoping they don't call us bait. If they let the Surf, it's game over, basically. Surf coming through, they do shield it, and can we get to the Thunderbolt in time? They were just at the move. This should give us a chance of winning this game. The Medicham is quite low, and yeah, the Galvantula is still there, but I think we can take care of it for sure. They can get off probably one more move. Yeah, back in comes Medicham. Okay, they actually do get to the move first here. I think this should be an Ice Punch, maybe? Oh, it's a Power Punch, sorry, and we'll come into this thing. We're going to try and get the farm down, and I think we even come out with a Seed Bomb. So good games well played. Bit of a tricky lead, but good games nonetheless. I think that has to be a positive matchup for Galvantula, so definitely a bit of an awkward one. And once again, Stinky Binky! And this one's in Tackle, though, which is slightly better for me, but it doesn't matter, guys. It really doesn't matter. Like I said, if I played the Zero Shield scenario, I just lose to the backline. I do go for the Catch and Registeel. They actually come in with Galissapod this time, so I'm thinking, right, maybe, just maybe I have a chance to win, because this is not a good match for Galissapod. So we have another Stinky Binky lead, however we don't have Medicham coming into our Reggie, which is pretty much the first time this happened. I got, like I said, this lead with Medicham and a Grass type in the back, I think at least 5 times, so I was getting super frustrated. You guys probably seen me posting on Twitter about how RPS the Great League is, and you've probably seen me talking in Discord about it being straight RPS. That's basically why. We do take 2 shields off the opponent and we come into Lantern here. The opponent swaps into Venusaur, and yeah, this is a similar line, except for instead of Medicham, they're using Galissapod. If it was Medicham, that would be much worse for me. Guys, at this point, we shield up the Frenzy Plant, or the Sludge Bomb, whatever they want to throw. Frenzy Plant would get me super low, and at this point, we look to sweep with Trevenant. We should be in a very good spot here now. Again, like, Carbink is super awkward. They actually did leave with, like, they actually might have a little bit more energy than this. I'm going to try to get off the Seed Bomb here. Yeah, we do get it off. I'm not sure if that was on CMP or not, or if the opponent got denied. Oh, it was CMP, so they're going to get off another X-Scissor or Aerialast. Was it X-Scissor? It is X-Scissor. We go for the Simul swap. The opponent comes in, goes for the Moonblast. But however, folks, it's not going to be enough. Carbink is annoying, but it doesn't hit very hard. Like I said, this thing is in Tackle, which is a Water Gun clone. So basically, it's the same as Tapu Fini, 20 turns for the Moonblast. Whereas otherwise, it's 24 turns with the Rock Throw. We're going to get off the final Surf here, and as Pokeground would say, we're saying bye-bye to the Carbink, and we're saying bye-bye to the Galissapod as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, it's very much appreciated. Try Trevenant, I think it's definitely well worth using in this current meta. You know, for the particular reason of this team that we keep losing to, I think you don't use this particular team. Japanese players seem to be a huge fan of this Carbink team, and it's very, very tough to play against with this. So you may want to just sort of switch up the backline a little bit. You could do perhaps Registeel and Sandslash, so you're using Registeel to draw out the Medicham, right? And then you come back in, clean it up with Trevenant, and then Sandslash can beat both Carbink and a Grass type, right? So like that might be a good idea, or you could try something different. But the good thing about Reggie is it does very well against the whole team. The problem is you're swapping it in to draw out something, so you're not using it in a closing position. So like maybe you could look to use something like Steelix as the safe swap to use Reggie as the closer. Completely up to yourself. Or you can go for some sort of team where you've got like Steel in the lead or something, like Registeel lead, let's say for example, with Medicham and Trevenant in the back. So you're using Medicham to draw out any potential flyers, and then you're looking to sweep with Trevenant. Those sort of teams could work perfectly fine. But I think for that particular team we're struggling against with the Carbink, Medicham, and Grass type, I think Sandslash could work very well. Anyway guys, hope you did enjoy today's video. Like I said, please drop a like, subscribe. Let me just check my phone really quick. I think we're about 3 subscribers off. We're only 3 subscribers off 2.8k, so if you guys could help me get through that today, that'd be amazing. And once again guys, thank you for the support in the videos. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all next time.